So here we are, live at the Better Angels Founding Convention, Harrisonburg, Virginia, and I'm joined now by my new friend, Mr. Peter Bell, Better Angels delegate from Indianapolis, Minnesota, and a person who I'm pleased to introduce to you. Peter, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, John. Good to be with you.
Likewise. So yeah, we're just getting acquainted here, and you're known to me a little bit by reputation as a prominent conservative commentator and thinker, and certainly in your home state. But I'd love to know a little bit about, well, first of all, how you would define yourself professionally, how you would describe yourself politically, and what the journey looked like to those two places for you.
Yeah, John, that's a very interesting question. I've had a number of different paths to my current kind of political beliefs, and they were influenced, I think, first and foremost by my parents, who would not consider themselves conservative. They were pretty middle-of-the-road Democrats. My father was an accountant, my mother was a school teacher. But really imparted on me, I think, some core values that served as the foundation for many of my current, somewhat right-of-center political beliefs. Career-wise, I had a number of different careers, both in the public sector. I was the governor of Monty's cabinet, and I was the head of what's known as the Met Council, ran all the transit activities, developed land planning, ran the parks, and had some role in affordable housing. I was a publisher in the nonprofit world for a number of years, and I was a senior executive at a regional bank holding company in Minneapolis, and I still serve on their board. Politically, I have been very active, as you indicated in your introduction to me, in the local Minneapolis-St. Paul area, primarily in movement conservative circles. I was one of the founding members of the Center on the American Experiment. It's a conservative public policy think tank. I was one of the founding members of the Center for New Black Leadership, Shelby Steele and Glenn Lowry, two renowned political thinkers, African-American political thinkers. I've done a lot of writing for primarily the op-ed pieces for the Minneapolis and St. Paul paper, and done a fair amount of media work as well. So all of that combined has brought me to my current activities today. And really, to be clear, what they are is that I have spent much of my political life, frankly and bluntly, creating or aggravating the political divide in this country. And it is to the point now that it is a primary issue for me, the divide that we see in our country, and I want to put some energy, not necessarily in changing my political beliefs or changing the political viewpoints of those that are left of center, but allowing us to engage in useful and meaningful dialogue and discussion where we can really move the country forward.
So your presence here today at the Better Angels Convention might be looked at as a sign of a desire to atone for past partisan sins. And so I'm putting it dramatically.
Yeah, I wouldn't say atone because I really still hold the beliefs that I have come upon over the past 20 or 30 years. But I have seen what has happened to this country and the inability of this country to talk in a civil way with one another about really very important, very painful, and very hurtful issues.
Right. Now, polarization is, I don't think it's a term that most people are yet familiar with. Of course, I mean, it's a physics term. It basically indicates when you have two particles that are sort of set at odds against each other. And that's what's happened in our social and political landscape. And with Better Angels, we're tackling this left-right divide generically, but within that, there are all sorts of, I think, subdivides that are very frictious. these things correlate. The left-right divide broadly seems to correlate to something of a racial divide in this country and so forth. But even then, within racial and cultural groups, you also have a tremendous breakdown of conversation. Now, some of the folks watching us here will know that I ran for office as a Republican, an African-American Republican, against a very prominent African-American congressperson. I certainly have my own experiences seeking to bridge the divide within the black community. I have my thoughts on that divide, but I'm curious to know how, if you see there as being any distinguishing features within the context of the African-American community, within the context of polarization, political polarization within the African-American community, and how does that polarization impact the broader political and cultural health of the community?
John, that's a very interesting, I think, important question. I think the African-American community oftentimes is more conservative than is often viewed or looked at as. I think many of the positions that the African-American community take are akin to somewhat conservative views. But I think the African-American community, quite frankly and bluntly, has been pushed out of the conservative movement and has felt not really accepted by that movement. And I think for some very understandable reasons, and as a result, by default, has moved to or been positioned somewhat left of center. It is, you all know, it's the most reliable part of the Democratic constituency. And I tend to think that that's not healthy for both Democrats or Republicans or African Americans.
Well, what occurs to me is the fact that if you look over the course of African American history, there's certainly been periods of time where, transitional periods where the general party affiliation of the black community shifted dramatically. So, coming out of slavery, of course, black people tended to be universally Republican. Obviously, the abolitionist movement was housed in the Republican Party and so forth. Then you came to the New Deal era, and suddenly African Americans started migrating in some fairly substantial numbers to the Democratic Party, and that shift sort of completed towards the end of the Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. But even in periods where you had greater consolidation of the black community in one party or another, I think that you can still track something of an arguably left, right, or liberal, conservative philosophical divide, which I think was largely constructive. So coming out of Reconstruction, you have people like Booker T. Washington, of course, who advocated a philosophy of industrial and economic empowerment, of taking a diplomatic approach to working with political leaders and so forth, agitating in specific areas where necessary, but maintaining cordial and respectful relationships with not just Teddy Roosevelt and leading Republicans, but even Democrats where they can be found to be amenable to compromise. But then you have folks like W.E.B. Du Bois, who obviously were much more in sort of an agitating sort of posture that sharply called out the hypocrisy of the political and racial status quo in the United States. And a man like Du Bois and others like him were very creative in creating cultural space for cultural development in the black community. I mean, we can go from one example to the other. Martin Luther King Jr. versus Malcolm X. Certainly King was economically more left of center, but nevertheless, he was conservative in the sense that he advocated a vision of American life that was fundamentally rooted in foundational American ideals. The idea that the Constitution did indeed guarantee equal rights for all people, that the Declaration of Independence was an enlightened document that spoke to the rightful inheritance of the African American people, to the broader legacy of empowerment and freedom that was meant to be a right for all Americans. And, you know, obviously Malcolm X,
So,
perhaps,
and we've got a,
you know, the Black Panthers and Garvey and others are much more
it's,
fiercely
it's
critical and
our
not quite
motto
as
is
patriotic,
it's
let's say, in that
have to.
sense.
So we have
Nevertheless,
like a,
there used to
we
be
have
room for that kind of
early
philosophical diversity within the
website
African
up,
American
and that's in that
community.
way.
Do you
just have to
think
give us the fact
that
it's not really
our polarization, our political polarization
but we're doing
currently
things like
prevents
telling-
there from being the same range of
stories
intellectual
of-
interplay
Oh,
that may have
absolutely.
existed in the
trees
past?
and
Absolutely, I think there is. I think, unfortunately, the
people who've
African
had
American
relationships with
community,
each other,
some people have said the African American community
that
is
don't
simply a
agree at all,
leading
and sort
indicator
of
for
the
the white
models.
community. In many respects, I think
Canary in the coal mine.
in many respects, I think it is true.
They're getting
I
awarded
think that
heterodox.
there is
Yeah,
an
you know
issue
them, yeah.
of
And,
orthodoxy in the
and
African
then we just got
American
a few
community,
speaker pairs up. We're
of
really just
legitimacy
starting
and
to get those
authenticity.
rolling.
And
But
that is
an idea is just
demonstrated
create a
by
market for them to go to
religion,
campuses
dress,
and
music, art, entertainment.
and it's really
Most
true. I believe
There's
it.
certain political positions that you take, and if you don't
Yeah,
adhere to
I
that
know.
orthodoxy of
Yeah,
music,
so
art,
if you bring words
dress,
like that, these would be
religion,
guys
political
who want to
positions, then you
be
are
white
seen
and
as
fall for it.
disloyal,
But if
inauthentic,
you,
and
if you frame it like that, then you're bringing
somewhat of a
conservatives
traitor
feel heard, liberals
to the
feel
community.
heard. They,
I think the
then
African
they can
American
kind of move
community
into
needs
places
to
I was
bust out of
speaking
that. I think the
with
African
family.
American community
Like
needs to really more individuals and they need to
With,
speak in their heart what they know to
Sheila.
be true. And I'll give you an
Yeah,
example.
vice
Black
versa.
Lives Matter.
So anyway.
I think it's a
I'll
very
stop
good
talking.
example.
Obviously, I
I
know
think that
kind
they
of what I'm
rightly
thinking,
bring up
yeah,
issues
about
of
doing the debate
police
format, right?
brutality and the like,
I
which I
mean,
think is
if that
disproportionately
were
visited
crazy
upon
about
African
that.
Americans.
Because
In the
so
African
great.
American
And then
community
they
is
went
black
on
on
to the
black
event,
crime
and the events
and
really
black
has
murder
some
rates, which are up to 8 times that of white America. That is doing so much more violence into our community. And I think we need to have a vigorous and important debate about that within the African American community. I'm not pretending that the issues are easy to resolve. I think they're very complex and multidimensional. But I think that we need to really debate them. I was speaking to some people at lunch
and
today,
right back.
and I
I mean,
said
really,
I
I
was very
do think
sad
that
with
we're
the
in
possible
a
exception
smaller
of Bill Cosby.
university of
I
people who
cannot
are
think
trying to
of
solve this
one
problem.
black
The vast
person of
majority of
note
them are
who has done something either illegal or unethical that has been routinely
what you're doing,
and
the format that
strongly
you just
criticized by other black leaders. Oftentimes, we rally around each other, we protect each other in ways that I think are, in some respects, self-defeating. I think it is incumbent upon any group that they police themselves. And I say that one of the things that I hope comes out of Better Angels is that Democrats will do a better job of policing the excesses.
Yeah, that is wonderful.
in their
Right,
group.
yeah, right back at
Republicans will
you.
do a
So,
better
I mean, to
job
me, like, if you,
policing
I mean,
the excesses
maybe
of
your
their
premise
group.
is
And in a like-minded sense, I very much wish that we as an African American community would look inward and do a much better job of policing the excesses of our
Well, you highlighted what I think is a very important truth, and that's the fact that you can have two facts, two separate claims to truth that may be emphasized by different sides of the political spectrum, and yet both be true. And yet, and in your case, you mentioned the fact that Black Lives Matter does have justifiable concerns and is raising real issues. And I think that, you can strongly argue that whether it's a matter of police brutality or inequity in education or different areas, there is some basis for concern, correct? And yet, of course, we have the other side of the coin, as you mentioned, crime and violence within the African American community. But we seem to be in a situation to where the political status quo within the black community, and perhaps more broadly speaking in America, doesn't allow us to be concerned about both of these things at the same time, essentially.
I so much agree with that.
And so, having offered that take, do you think, and by the way, I'll say as a quick aside, we had our first majority African American Better Angels workshop in South Los Angeles, right? And I was pleased to help organize that on both sides, by the way, African American liberals and African American conservatives. And as you can imagine, there is real disagreement on a range of issues. But there was also a range of areas where they discovered common ground and identified ways that they could work together in their own communities to address issues of common concern. Do you think that it might be possible for Better Angels to play a positive role in the Black community in particular, facilitating this type of broad-minded dialogue? And is there anything in any positive or friendly relationships you might have with African-American liberals or Democrats that might inform any optimism you may possess towards that, such an outcome?
I'm not sure how much contribution I could do with African-American liberals and Democrats.
What I mean is, do you have some positive relationships with?
Yes, certainly I do. But I think that the debate that you apparently, you spoke of in Los Angeles is exactly the type of thing that we need to have. We need to come together and frankly have a dialogue on some very deep-seated and very painful issues that exist in the African-American community. I, for one, I think issues of education or crime or the higher unemployment rate, though it's at historic lows, it's still about twice as high as that of whites. And really, the important question that we need to address, you spoke a minute ago about Booker T. Washington. I think Booker T. Washington primarily said we have to look inward to the solutions of these problems. We can't rest their solution upon the goodwill of whites. And I think
Which, interestingly, is not very different from many of the things Malcolm X said.
No, it's not. It's not. It's actually quite similar to what Malcolm X said in many, many respects. And I think that's the kind of debate we need to have. I, as an African-American conservative, believe that we need to look inward for the solution to many of our problems and not wait for white change or white goodwill to correct that. I also think we need to answer a very fundamental question of the African-American community, which is how deep-seated does racism and bias really go? My view is that it is a mile-wide racism, but only an inch deep, meaning whites can transcend it relatively easily. I think many of the elites in the African-American community view racism as a mile wide and a mile deep. It is very hard to transfer, so you can't get beyond it, that whites are continually looking to trip us up. And that's just not what my experience is. And I think we need to dialogue around it. We need to debate that. We need to explore that and all of its permutations.
Indeed. Well, let's hope that America and Black America as well are ready for a dialogue that brings us across the divide.
Well, let's hope.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm hopeful that it's the case. Peter Bell, thank you so much.
Good.